Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to set up a dedicated Minecraft server. I'm going to be setting it up on Linux, and you could use Debian or Ubuntu and be able to follow along. I'm using a Linux game server manager that has basically automated a good chunk of the install and has made it really easy. This guide is going to go over the Bedrock edition, which is the most popular as it's cross-compatible with all devices. But there is the Java edition, which is only available on computers but does offer a more consistent performance and is considered better for massive multiplayer servers. So if you want a huge server, you're better off with Java. But this video is going to go over the Bedrock edition, which is the most popular one that's cross-compatible on all consoles, computers, everything. I do have another video going over the Java setup if you're interested in that version. Alright, so first thing you're going to need is a Ubuntu Debian server. This could be self-hosted in your at your home on a server or just on a spare laptop. But the best way to set this up is through a cloud provider. I'm going to set it up through Linode, but I have other videos on how to make it through DigitalOcean or Amazon. So choose your cloud flavor that you prefer. But I'll be going through the Linode setup. So let's see where I need to start. So first things first. Once you get logged into the console, I'm in Linode, like I said. Just you're going to create a Linode. I'm going to choose Ubuntu. I always use Ubuntu, but Debian works too. I'm going to choose the newest long-term support, so it's 20.04. I'm going to choose the region. So if you're not familiar with this, so the region is the closest to you. This is going to give you the less latency and best performance. So I'm in California. I'm going to choose Fremont. So choose whatever region's closest to you. And then here is the CPU, storage, and RAM for the server. Like how big do you want your server? How powerful do you want it to be? Let me see real quick if I can find the document. So I know I got the link here. Let me put it in real quick. So on the Minecraft wiki, let's see, the Windows, let me go down to Linux. So I'm just putting on this on Linux. Here it is right here. That's a GUI. So if you go to this link here, I'll put in the description. We're going to be setting it up on a Linux console. So here's kind of a rough specs that you need. And it gives you a nice little player count. You know, if you're going to have 5 or 10 friends, you really don't need a lot of RAM. You can get away with 1 gig of RAM. You know, you can put this thing on a Raspberry Pi. If you do want more, it kind of gives you the specs required. I'm just going to do a small one just for me and my friends. So I'm going to click the tab here, shared CPU. And then from there, I'm going to choose, let's do 1 CPU and 2 gigs of RAM. That'd be good for a couple friends. And then from there, I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to give it a name. Give it there, and then put a root password in. I'm just going to, let's see. Give it a good password. There's an SSH key. You can ignore that for now unless you want to be more secure. I'm going to give it a private IP also. And then I'm going to click Create Linode. Give it a sec to create. Once you finish, you should see the screen here. It'll say running in the top left. It might say booting. Just give it a sec. And this is basically the review screen. You're going to come over here to where it says SSH Access. Click the little copy button. Basically, you're going to connect to your cloud server or whatever server using the user root, and then here's the public IP that you were given. And you're going to do this in an SSH client. The most common one is PuTTY. I use something called X Shell, but there's also Windows Subsystem for Linux, which is built into Windows. I have another video on that. I'll link on how to do that. So let me open up here it is. Okay. So I'm just going to paste that in. It's going to prompt me for the password that I previously put. And here I am. I'm in. Okay. And so the first thing we have to do is install the dependencies. I'll link all the commands that I'm running in my description. Like this dependency command is pretty long. So let me get that copied. So you're going to copy that command in. And basically, like I said before, this is just installing all the dependencies for the server to run and install. Press enter. I'm going to give it a minute while it installs. When you get here, make sure you put Y for yes. Let it go through again. Okay, now that that's finished, we could go through the rest of the install, which the first thing you're going to want to do is to add a user that you're going to use for the install for the Minecraft server. So the command is add user, and I'm just going to put Minecraft Bedrock server, MCB server. I'm going to press enter. You're going to give it a password. And you should make this different from the password you use to log into the server, just to make it more secure. And then put the password in. Then it's going to give you some information. You can just put your name. You don't have to fill out the rest of it. Next, I'm going to give that user sudo permissions, so it doesn't run into any issues installing. Oops, I got to add the user, MCB server. There we go. Okay, I cleared my screen. Next, we just need to change to the user that we just created. So we're going to put in sudo, and it's going to be su- the username. And that's going to change to the user we just created. Press enter. You might get prompted with a password. Just put in the password that you set up. Next, we're going to set up the wget command to download the Linux game server manager. It's the package that basically gets Minecraft installed and kind of manages it and makes everything kind of automated and quick. Get that. Paste that in. Press enter. And it should be pretty quick to download. Next is the actual Minecraft install. This one will take a few minutes. And the command is right here. And then just to remind you again, I'm gonna give all the commands in the description. Press enter. And it should take a few minutes, so I'll be back in just a sec. Once you get to the screen, it'll ask you if it was successful. Just press yes, press enter. It'll take another couple seconds. Put no there. There we go. Right, so the Minecraft Bedrock server is all installed. So from here is really just starting, stopping, and configuring the server. So I'm going to run this command called ls, and it'll list out the contents of the current directory. So this is basically all the files that were installed. And the main one you're going to want to go to is called server files. So let me go to that real quick. So you're going to do cd space server files, and that's changing the directory. I'm going to list it again. Now we have a new folder with a bunch of files in it, and the one we want to find is server.properties right here. So what we're going to do is, to edit this file, on a Windows computer you just would use Notepad or something. In Linux you're going to want to use something like Nano or Vim. There is ways to edit these files on your Windows machine using different tools to connect to it. I'm just going to use something called Vim. So I'm just going to type vim space server.properties. Type it out, press enter, and then you're presented with this screen. And basically this screen here is your server name, the game mode, difficulty, like all the different server settings that you want to set up, max players, and then you can go through them all. Let me scroll down. So you're going to want to set it to how you want here. I'm going to leave mine pretty default. And if you did use Vim like me, you press I, and then now you can edit it. So where's my cursor? So I'm going to name this Minecraft YouTube C. Anything else I want to change? I think I'm going to leave it all default. I'm going to press, then you want to press escape, and you want to press colon WQ enter, and that's basically you're saving it and then you're quitting the file. It's confusing at first, but if you use it enough, it becomes natural. So once that's done, I forgot one thing. So let's use Vim to get back into that server properties, and we're gonna find the port. So right here, 19132. That's the port that you're going to need forwarded. You know, so if you have this on a home server, you're going to have to set up your own home router to forward all traffic on this port to the server. Since if you're using a cloud, like you should, you're going to be like, if you're using Linode, you just have to set up the firewall to point to this. So I'm going to remember 19.132 and 19.133. So I'm going to jump back into my Linode dashboard, and then once you're here, you're going to go to firewalls. And I already had one created, but I'll make a whole new one for you guys. So I'm going to hit create firewall. I'm going to put Minecraft YouTube. Click the drop down. You're going to select the server that you made. Click create firewall. Then I'm going to go to that. So currently, anybody on every port can access this server. It's open to the world. It's not super safe. First thing you want to do is click the drop down. Click drop, save changes. So now everything's blocked. And then we're going to want to add that server IP, which was 19. What was it again? Let's go see. It was 19.132. So for outbound, you can put everything for outbound. Outbound's not super important. The inbound's the important one. So I'm going to give it a Minecraft port. Then I'm going to copy that, put that as a description too. And the protocol, we're going to use UDP. And we're going to do custom port. It was 19.132. And we're going to do all IPv4, IPv6. So you're going to make it similar to this. The ports should be the same. Then we're going to make sure it says accept. And we're going to put add rule. Oh, you can't have spaces. You can do a semicolon or whatever works. Does that work? There we go. So now when you do connect, you'll be able to connect in. And let's add in one more rule for IPv6. You don't need this, but let's just do it anyways. We're going to use UDP custom. That'll be 19.133. Select all, accept, and then for the outbound, we're going to put this as all protocol. Let's do TCP. We're going to have to make 2 for this. We're going to do allow all. So outbound, for outbound, we're going to allow all traffic. Inbound is the one we're kind of locking down. Now let me add one more for UDP real quick. And you can get more granular with your description. I'm just going through it quick. Okay, there we go. It's all set up. Make sure you hit save. And if you are using something else like Amazon or something, you'll have to, I have some other videos that kind of go over it, but you'll have to figure out how to set up the port forwarding. You know, if you have your own home server, you'll have to figure out your modem router and how to forward on that thing. Every piece of equipment software is going to be different. All right, so next, oops, I put the wrong protocol. So for the Minecraft port, make sure you edit it to UDP. I don't know why I put TCP. So let's click back into both of them. We're going to put it as UDP. So you should have 19.132, UDP all, 19.133, UDP all. And then outbound, I let everything. And then one real quick thing is, so you can connect back into that server, you need to make an SSH rules to allow you in. And this is basically going to be your IP address. So when your computer connects in, it's going to hit this firewall. It's going to be like, only this IP address is allowed in. So we're going to put SSH. They have a preset built for it. And then you can put all. I'm just going to put all for now, but normally you would want to do custom, and then you'd put in port 22, and then you would do your IP address here. Just for the sake of time, I'm just going to make it open. I'm going to click add, and then I'm going to click save. And then from here, I'm going to open up my terminal again. I'm going to clear my screen because it kicked me out. I'm going to reconnect in. Okay, once you're in, you're going to change to the Minecraft user we made, mcbserver. And then from here, you're going to do a period // mcbserver, and this will give you the list of commands. And we're basically going to start the server. So we're going to do the same thing we just typed, and we're going to put st. And this is going to start the server up. Give it a sec to start. Then you should get the screen here and it'll say start. And then from there we can jump into the server. So open up Minecraft. I got mine started. You're gonna go to play, servers, and then go to add server. Give it a name. And then you're gonna paste in that public IP that you that was attached to that cloud server that you created. And here's the port. Going back in that server description, you could always change the port if you want a different port. Like I said, it defaults to 19.132. So press play. I already added it, so I'm going to click on that. Give it a sec to locate and load. So there you have it. You now have your own dedicated Minecraft server hosted in the cloud. It's on 24/7 that you can play with your friends. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments. And if you like the video, please subscribe. Thanks, guys.